Ripple will dominate 2025, a Nasdaq listing, Apple integration, a $1.25 billion takeover. The new financial system is being born right now. Ripple is buying a global brokerage firm for $1.25 billion. XRP will be integrated into Apple Pay, and CME futures are breaking records with nearly $27 billion in trading volume. What's happening here is no coincidence, rather, it's a step into the next financial era. In this video, I'll explain everything about the economic and technical news surrounding XRP for the entire week, without hype, without price fantasies, just the hard facts. But before we dive into the deep analysis, feel free to grab a coffee and leave a like for me. And if you want to find real altcoin gems early, then check out my 10x Elite membership. There, on one hand, you'll get a look into my personal crypto portfolio, everything that I'm invested in and where. Then you'll also get access to the full 10x ranking list. I've analyzed over 100 altcoins there. At the same time, you also get access to the 10x indicator that I use in every video. So, if you want to move away from speculation, from chance, and instead rely on data, structure, and strategy, then the 10x Elite is the next logical step. You can still get a 30% discount on your first month right now. All the info is in the video description, it's the very first link. But be warned, a disclaimer. My channel is not financial advice, but purely informational. I've scanned hundreds of news items this week, Reuters, DL News, on-chain data, and also discussions on X. I've filtered out the speculation and kept only the developments that are truly relevant for XRP and Ripple's strategy. Let's go through the most important events of the past week. First, Ripple is buying a global prime broker. On October 24th, the news broke that Ripple will be the first crypto provider with its own global prime broker. Ripple has invested over $1.25 billion in a broker. This means Ripple now controls an infrastructure that puts crypto transactions on the same level as stocks and bonds. The stablecoin, RLUSD, gets BNY Mellon as its official reserve custodian, the same custodian that many large banks and funds use. What does this show? Ripple isn't just building its own products. Ripple is building a financial structure, institutional, regulated, and global. And that's exactly what sets it apart from many other projects. Second, 2 days earlier, on October 22nd, the next bombshell dropped. Ripple is acquiring G Treasury, a treasury management company, for $1 billion. Why is this important? G Treasury works with large corporations for international payments, but it also manages their liquidity. With this acquisition, Ripple is building a bridge between classic corporate finance and on-chain liquidity with XRP. The integration of this expertise naturally makes XRP more attractive as a bridge asset for global payments. Yes, and the third point, the Nasdaq listing of Evernorth. On October 20th, the Ripple-backed venture Evernorth merged with a SPAC, the Amanda Acquisition Corp, and it will be listed on the Nasdaq. The goal is to raise over $1 billion in capital to accumulate XRP as a treasury asset. This is the next level of institutional adoption. This shows Ripple is now extending its reach directly into the capital markets. Thus, XRP becomes much more than a means of payment, but rather a strategic financial asset. Then we come to the fourth point, the CME futures and the Apple integration. Because on the same day, October 20th, 2 more headlines emerged that could bring XRP deep into the mainstream. First, the CME Group reports that XRP futures reached a volume of $26.9 billion in just 5 months. That's a massive sign of institutional interest. Futures volume means hedge funds, banks, but also professionals are trading XRP. And second, and arguably even more exciting, is that XRP is becoming part of the Apple ecosystem. According to rumors, Apple is working on integrating XRP payments via Apple Pay. If that happens, we're talking about 1.5 billion devices worldwide. That would be mass adoption at the push of a button. The week has clearly shown where Ripple wants to go. 5 developments, but one direction. Brokerage, treasury management, Nasdaq listing, CME futures, Apple integration, everything is aimed at building the infrastructure for ultimately institutions. Ripple isn't building a new blockchain world here. Instead, Ripple is integrating XRP into the existing financial system. And that is the real revolution, not against banks, but with them. Those were the latest XRP news, purely factual, data-based, without speculation. If you want to know if XRP can really reach $48, then I recommend my next video to you now. Enjoy the complete analysis, which is also data-based. Thanks for watching and see you in a moment.